Shut the door.
Hello everyone, I'm buzzing to host my next guest again. Today you're going to be guided through a visualization to help you manifest your heart's desire. So that's pretty freaking cool. I'll also be asking him what's life like on a Disney cruise ship as a stand-up comedian who travels the world. Is Danny feeling the strain of this cancel culture around comedy? In other words, does it affect the material he writes? Can you feel what sort of audience you're going to be walking into before you hit the stage? Does he have little tricks to get a hostile crowd on side? Do you need to be thick-skinned to audition for a TV role? I'm sure we'll also go down the consciousness route. These conversations tend to take on a life of their own anyway. I'm sure this will be fun and insightful. A little bit more about my guest. He's had his own TV show, is a writer for Channel 4's 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. He now travels the world with his stand-up comedy show and is currently appearing in a TV series. I'm thrilled to bring you Danny Buckler, everyone. Thanks for joining me, mate.
Great. Hello, how are you? Was I on for all of that?
Yeah.
Oh, God, so everyone's going to see, like you're talking about doing your introduction. I'm sort of sitting here picking my nose, thinking he's going to press a button and I'm going to appear. They're going to see me sort of wandering about in my pajamas. Hello, good evening, everyone. How are you?
Cool.
It's nice to see you, Danny Green. It's nice to see you moved out of that swanky flat and are now living in a place with a bare brick wall.
Yes, it's the distressed look.
Very trendy now.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's great to have you back. Thank you so much. I'm just going to share this into one of my groups as well. I'll be a moment or two and then we'll get going.
Oh, lovely.
Right. Oh, yep. Straight on there. Share to a group. Power Your Energy Healing. We are alive. Happy days.
For those that are watching, I just adjusted my chair and did not suddenly lose 4 vertebrae from my spine.
No, that's good. I just
look like I might have done.
Yeah, I just want to start off by asking you what's it like day to day, living, working on a cruise ship. Do you have spare time through the day, or do you have like afternoon shows and then?
I have nothing but spare time. Generally, how it works is every line is different, has different requirements. But generally speaking, I do 2 shows in the course of about a week, and the rest of the time I'm just wandering around, exploring countries, and then making my own stuff as best I can, and just enjoying the ambience. So it's very lovely, is the truth. It's a wonderful way. It's a lovely lifestyle. And I enjoy it very, very much. The only thing I don't is starting to get a little bit. I want more time at home because it's weird how quickly you get used to anything. So yeah, but apart from that, I have no complaints, and I'm seeing some amazing places, especially this year. I went to Africa this year for the first time, which I love very much because it was quite nice seeing. How can I put this? I try and. I've been studying sort of various magical traditions my whole life, but it's nice when you're actually in a country to actually be just to read about the traditions of that country while you're in that country. So when I was in Africa, I was reading all about voodoo and other things. And then when I'm in Greece, I read about the stuff that comes from there and the various different practices. So it's nice to sort of tune into the local area and tune into the ambience and the spirit of a place and really experience it. Which I'm trying to make videos about on my own little YouTube, and trying is the key word there. It's hard on the road, but yes, that's the story of that.
Your videos are excellent. They're well edited.
Oh, you're very kind.
And obviously the content, which is the most important thing, is tip top as well.
Oh, thank you, mate.
How do you find YouTube as a platform?
I love it. I really love it. I'm loving doing it, and I'm loving the freedom of it. It's manifesting in action, because now it used to be if I wanted to make something, I couldn't make it. You're in your career, you're sort of constantly at the behest of companies and people that make creative decisions that don't necessarily have. John Cleese said this: the skills that get you in a position to make the decisions about other people's creativity are not the skills that were required for creativity. So the people in management positions don't have the skills to create stuff, but think they do. And so they censor and edit those who do have creative ability. And the people with the creative ability haven't got the ability to actually make the thing and get it out there. You need both. And it's a battle between the two, which is why you can have the most brilliant performers in the world. And as soon as they get on telly, it's shit, because they're suddenly constrained by the form. But YouTube, there's none of that. There's nothing between you and the audience but a camera that's in your phone. So you can make anything you want to make. If you want to make a documentary about something, you can take your phone, go out and make it. You want to make a funny video, you can go and make it. You want to make a spiritual thing, you've got a teaching you want to share, you can go out and do it now. It just requires application and the ability to sit down with a camera and actually do it, which is where I fall down because I'm a lazy sod. But but I try my best. So yeah, so I love it for that. I love it. And then it's just accepting it's going to take a bit of time to find the following, because it will take time.
Yeah, it does indeed. So do you have creative control when you're on the cruise ship, on your stand-up?
Yes.
Presumably,
Yes.
Can you swear as well?
No. I mean, there's constraints. So I'm very interested in appropriateness. Appropriateness is important. And in some venues, it's appropriate to do certain things. In other venues, it's appropriate to. So, for example, on Disney, it's a family show for a family audience. They're families, they're kids. I can either be Mr. I'm an artist and walk out there and do something rotten, or I can be myself, but be myself appropriate to that venue. And that's what Taoism is. That's what Zen is. That's what non-duality is. It's not, I'm going to be this and everyone else can get stuck. Well, sometimes it is. But it's being appropriate to where you are. You know, it's blending with it. It's flowing with it. Right, this is what's happening now. Right now, this is the audience. This is the venue. And this is what that venue is going to draw out of me. So the key is, well, with me, I can't speak for anyone else, but with me is I get out of the way. I'm not there. I take no credit for anything that happens because I'm not doing it. I get out of the way and the appropriate performance happens for the audience in front of me. And on cruise ships where it's an older audience, it comes out one way. And on ships when it's another audience, it comes out the other way. And if it's a late night comedy club, it comes out another way. And if whatever it is, the appropriate thing comes out because I get out of the way and allow it to come out. At least I try. At least that's what I'm trying for.
Yeah, I love that.
Whatever happens.
Yeah, because then that way you're not feeling like you have to censor yourself or hold back. It's then not spontaneous anymore, is it? But if you're see out the way,
you just get out of the way. But then what you say is appropriate, and what comes out is right for the audience in front of you. Mm-hmm. You know.
So do you do a lot of freestyling, or is it a combination?
Yes. Right, an awful lot. It's a combination of two. It's prepared material and it's spontaneous stuff that happens, that arises out of where I've been, what I've seen that day, what's happening with me, what's happening in the room, and I get a lot of things that are in here that I don't even know are in here that come out, and I'm trying to trust that more because that's what I want to be. I don't want to tell jokes. I don't want to stand there and tell jokes. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own different style. Jimmy Carr is like a machine. He can craft the most beautiful one-liners and then he delivers them. I'm not that guy. It's not better or worse. It's just different. I'm not that guy. So there's no point me trying to be that guy. I go with what I am, what is. Always go with what is. So what is that I am, when I get out of the way, these things happen. And I have all sorts. I have stories and I have observations and I have magic tricks sometimes. I have sleight of hand tricks that I do. I have all kinds of different bits and bobs. And then it's all in here. And then when I get out of the way, the appropriate thing comes out. But it took a long time to get that down. A long time to work out my brains. Some comedians get it off the bat. There's comedians I know in their 20s just started. It's there straight away. No work. Boom. There they are. You know, I wasn't that guy. It's taken me this long. And I'm still a work in progress.
Yeah, we've got Samantha Whitaker, Chill Dancer saying hi. Hello, Sam.
Oh,
you doing well?
Samantha Whitaker of the Chakra Rooms. How are you? Yes. Makers of the finest incense known to humanity. Oh, pounds, shilling and pence. It's the most wonderful sense. Get onto the Chakra Rooms and buy your incense right now again. And Kathy Smith. I love that.
Yes, place. Indeed, Kathy Smith, yes.
Have you been down there, Dan, to the Chakra Rooms of Ramsbottom?
I have, yes. I went down to meet Stephen there.
Absolutely lovely. Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So I've seen some of your show reels on YouTube, and when you didn't get the laugh, you wanted, you just kind of prompted the audience to say, you know, to get them on side, and you've got them eating out of your hand. You know, they're laughing and they're with you. where some people might sort of think, "Oh, that was my best joke," and they didn't laugh, but you were the opposite. You were like, "Come on, you miserable lot," and
Yeah, I used to do a lot. I mean, I used to get really. If they didn't laugh, I was like heartbroken. It felt like rejection, and I'd get no. But now it's just whatever happens, happens. I do not. It's hard to explain. The best way I heard it put was by Ross Noble, who is the most spontaneous comedian I've ever seen, and is phenomenal. And a beautiful man. He's the closest to the Taoist archetype, by the way, you'll ever meet. There's a man who hasn't. It just seems to flow through life. I mean, incredible guy to hang out with. And the way he put it was, you have to care enough to not care, which is the best definition of Wu Wei I've ever heard in my entire life. What is Wu Wei? Caring enough to not care. It's a juxtaposition. It doesn't make sense, but it does if you actually practice it. I care enough to let this go. And then when you're on stage, it doesn't get the laugh you were expecting. Well, I don't expect anything now. There is no laugh I'm expecting. I don't expect anything. I make a noise in my mouth and there is a response, and that response triggers a response from me, and it's a flow and it goes how it goes. That's what I'm striving for, rather than panicking that normally gets a big laugh and it didn't, and now I'm scared. No, this is just what's happening right now. And the only person that sees every show you ever do is you. You're the only one that sees every show you ever do. They're just seeing what the show that's happening now. You're comparing it to how it went 2 weeks ago when they were standing up and cheering your name. They aren't. They're just with what's happening now. And for all you know, this is the best show they've ever seen. This is just how they happen to respond. You don't know. So rather than beating yourself up and getting into a panic mode and trying to win them over and trying to win their approval, just be with them. All right, this is the energy in the room right now. Let's go with this. All right, you're a bit tired. You're a bit tired. Like on cruise ships, whoever goes on stage on Rome night is dying on their ass because the port is 3 hours away from anything. So they've all been out on tours. They've had a 3-hour journey out on a coach, a day walking around in the blazing sun, and a 3-hour journey back. I don't care who you are. You could be Robin Williams. Do you know what I mean? You could be Luciano Pavarotti. If you're on that night, the most you're going to get is because they're exhausted. You have no say in that. You have no control over that. So all you can do is be with them, meet them where they're at, and then be with them authentically, which is the same with spiritual teaching, which I don't know much about. But the best spiritual teachers, they meet you where you're at, as opposed to trying to impose their thing on you. If you've got a spiritual question, they meet you where you're at. Most people aren't ready to hear about non-duality. Most people just aren't. They don't want to hear it. It's too scary. The idea that there's no self, it's terrifying. So don't try and force it on them. Meet them where they're at. You give them the right appropriate tool for the job. Does that make sense? And it's the same. So it's the same with anything, performing, anything. You meet the audience where they're at and you go with what is. Always go with what is and you'll never fail.
Yeah, I love all that. You've said so much in there. You're the only person who's been to every show you've done. That alone is priceless wisdom.
It's true. It's like you right now. You're the only person on earth that has been at every single live stream you've done.
Yeah.
No one else has.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
And it's not just, and you're as much a part of the experience as everyone else. There's the experience of those that are watching it, but there's also your experience. You're as much a part of it as everyone else, you know? And if you've got, say, 40 people watching, there's 40 individual live streams happening. And everyone's got their own take on what's happening. Everyone's got their own experience, their own thing, based on their conditionings, their beliefs, their mood. There's someone watching this that just come in from a hot walk and they're exhausted. There's someone else who's been waiting all day for this and they're excited, you know? And then there's you. You're part of it too. And it's a happening. These things all come together and it's a happening. And you just go with it. Sorry, now I am in waffle mode. What's your next question, Danny Green? Oh, there's comments. I can see them. I've never seen the comments before. Oh, I've lost your sound, Dan.
Sorry.
Oh, you're back. That was you. Thank God for that. I'm always afraid I'm going to hit the wrong button and it's going to turn to like... I've watched some of these. I like the ones where it's somebody doing it and they're sort of in their garden and the angle's like this. And they're looking down or they're trying to they're talking about the most profound things, but their sort of eyes are off to the side and because they're doing it or on their phone or something.
Yeah, that's it. So Kathy wants you back in the chat room, ASAP, Mr.
Oh,
Butler.
that'd be nice. Yes, I want to go get back. Hopefully, I'm going to sort out a date with Sam. I've got a new show, and I want to do it there. And then hopefully maybe do a little workshop off the bat. I've been doing workshops, Danny, not very often, but I do. And yeah, it's quite nice because when I go there, I do a show like one on the Friday, and then do a workshop on the Sunday. Generally, that's how it works.
Yeah.
And then some people come for the show, and some people come from the workshop, and some people come for both. And it's a lovely weekend. It's nice.
Yeah, I bet.
But my new show's nearly ready now, so I want to start getting that out there.
Sounds amazing. Yeah, something to look forward to.
Come.
Kathy says,
Come.
Yeah, I will do. Kathy says meeting people where they're at is the key for just about everything. And it's a skill. The skill and ability and awareness to know where that is and how that is.
The desire is to take your thing to make right. Everyone seems to have their thing. Do you know what I mean? So some people's thing is this. That's their thing. Do you know what I mean? Other people's thing is Qigong. Someone else's thing, but they've got that, and then they try and fit everything into their thing. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes their thing ain't the answer for your problem. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's bang on, but sometimes it isn't. But if you can get beyond systems, that's a system. Yoga's a system. Tai Chi's a system. If you can get beyond systems to what lies beneath all of them, right? The actual proper thing, the only thing there is, which is the one thing that all these things arise out of, then you're in a position to meet the individual in front of you where they're at with the appropriate thing. And sometimes the appropriate thing is to say, I haven't got a clue, mate. This is out of my wheelhouse. Do you know what I mean? But I know the guy that has got the answer, and send them to him or her. Do you know what I mean? Rather than trying to force your thing on someone. I think that's you know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes it's like a key. You've got to keep trying a different key till it turns to unlock. Yeah.
Because that's not the answer to everything. It's the answer to some things.
Yeah.
But it's not the answer to everything. In the same way that Tai Chi's, you know what I mean? I've broken my leg. You need Tai Chi, mate. Get out there and start moving. My leg's broken. I know, right? Get out there and start doing some Qigong. You'll be right as well. I can't even bloody stand. That's just a belief. Stand. Can we call a fucking ambulance? The appropriate thing is an ambulance. Do you know what I mean? And a man with a stretcher and a man with a metal thing. That's what's appropriate right now. But after you've had the man reset your leg and you're getting stronger, then maybe Tai Chi is the appropriate thing. Do you know what I mean? To get it healing quicker. But you've got to have the appropriate thing. Do you know what I mean? And the way to do that is to go beyond systems, see what lies underneath, and then speak from there. Does that make sense? I'm going into one a bit today because I'm in a good mood. So sorry if I'm going off on tangents.
And if someone's in a coma, Reiki or spiritual healing would be potentially appropriate. You know?
Yeah, because they're out.
Yeah.
But but get them to the hospital first to make sure they're breathing.
Oh yeah.
But then
Yeah.
But definitely. Then but once they're there, then do your thing.
Yeah, that's right. Horses for courses. Craig saying, hey, Double Danny. Hi, Craig. Thanks for jumping on.
Oh,
good to see you.
This is nice. People are watching. It's good.
Yeah, it's always nice when people come on and it gets going and they're asking questions and leaving comments, which is awesome. Here's a question. Has the way you consciously manifest, has that evolved and changed over the years, over the decades, or is it still fairly similar to how it was?
How do I consciously manifest?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Let me. How can I? I'm going to be very careful here, because right. How can I put this? I don't think the law of attraction thing isn't it. It's part of it, but it's not it. As you know, it doesn't work. By which I mean, the sitting in your front room, imagining a car's going to appear on your drive, and then waking up the next morning and the angels have delivered it, doesn't happen. That's and that's the sadness of it, because certain teachers imply that is the case, and that if it doesn't work, it's on you because you didn't believe hard enough. So something that works, you haven't got to believe in it. I haven't got to believe in gravity. It just happens. If I stop believing in gravity, it's still there. You know what I mean? So I don't have to believe in it. Does that make sense? The law of
Yeah.
gravity doesn't need my belief to exist. The sun does not require my belief to be in the sky. It's just there,
Yeah.
right? So if I've got to believe in something for it to work, if I don't believe in it, it doesn't work, then there's malarkey there, you know? So I prefer the idea of selection, not attraction, selection. All these signals and all these things are bombarding our senses constantly, and it's selecting what to focus on from that display. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then seeing what happens and then adjusting as you go along. You've got to meet the universe halfway. And you do that by just being very select. And I'm not saying this, all these things I'm saying to you, I'm saying to myself. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to create the illusion like some do that my life just is a wonderful flow. I just ride the healing energies, and then I just tune into them, and everything works out in my favor, and it's just wonderful. Because I'm a work in progress, mate. I for everything I manifest, there's 10 things I haven't, you know.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. That's just life. Life does that to us. And the problem with the law of attraction is people start to if you go with that, that then you're attracting the bad things too. You're not. Bad things happen. It's evil to tell somebody who's ill that they've attracted that with their negative thinking. So now they're not only just ill, they're blaming themselves for it. Anyone who preaches that, fuck you and fuck off. That's rotten. You know, you didn't manifesting's what there are other laws. You didn't attract the car that knocked you down and broke your leg with your negative thoughts. It happened. But now you're in that position. You can use your power of selection to decide how long it takes for you to get out of the hospital. And how pleasant your experience is while you're in there. Are you gonna lie there and moan for 6 months? Or are you gonna be cheerful, chat to the nurses, make a new mate in the next bed, take the time that you've got lying down to get that book finished you were always planning to write? Get on the blow. My friend Jonathan Goodwin, everyone should follow him. He is the most perfect example. He was a daredevil stunt guy. It's not my story to tell, and he tells it better than I, but the long story short, a daredevil stunt guy flying around the world, famous for it, famous. Every television network in America has an accident that severs his spinal cord and is now in a wheelchair. And it's a year later now, and he's one of the best hypnotherapists in the country. All he's doing is helping other people. You'll never hear a negative word pass his lips. Not from the moment he opened his eyes. It's incredible because he chooses to live in his own reality. He knows how it works. He's there.
What about Wayne Dobson as well? He's
another one. My friend Wayne. He was struck down at the peak of his career. When he was on national television, he finds out he's got multiple sclerosis. In fact, he found out before he got there. He found out at 23, I believe he was, but he kept going anyway. He decided to squeeze all the juice out of the time he had, knowing that he would end up in a wheelchair. Yeah. And there he sits now. He's paralyzed from the neck down. He literally has the corner of his mouth, and that's pretty much it. And yet he's out on tour. He's still on tour. He's going to be doing a show at Her Majesty's Theatre later this year. Every problem he gets, he overcomes. He couldn't move his legs, so he went to something else. Then he couldn't move his arms, he went to something else. Now his voice is failing him, so he's invested in a sort of a headset and a speaker that makes his voice louder. Just constantly moving. And he was supposed to have been dead 30 years ago, you know what I mean? And he's still here. Yeah. It's amazing. You can overcome anything. You really can. So let's put back to the manifesting things. It's very important to. It suddenly occurred to me that I'd manifested the life. I was always trying to think. I want to live like a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. So I'd imagine this beautiful room with a beautiful double bed and a balcony looking out over the Bahamas and a butler serving my every need. And I'm not a millionaire. But 6 months of the year, I'm living in a beautiful 6-star suite where I can press a button and a butler will come and bring me food. And I look out over my balcony and I see I've got the picture that I wanted. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm living like one while I'm on the cruise ship. And then when that gets old, because believe it me or not, it does get old, if you told me when I was working a shift on a photocopier. If I could go back in time to 18-year-old me working a photocopier with an utter prick for a boss, and that frustrating thing of knowing I'm smarter than him, but because he's my boss, I've got to go, yeah, and do what he says, knowing that I am in the presence of a retard. And I could appear to myself as a force ghost from the future and say to myself, there will come a time, Danny Buckler, working that photocopier, when you wake up in a 6-star suite, all right, on a luxury bed with a big thick duvet, with last night's room service sitting over there, 6-star cuisine, hand prepared for you by a chef, and you're going to look out the window and you're going to see the beautiful sea of the Caribbean, and your first thought is going to be, Jesus Christ, no, not Barbados again. And you're going to roll over and go back to sleep, right? Because you now know Barbados better than you know Guildford High Street. I'd have said, don't talk. If that happens to me, that'll be my dream come true. What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? And it did come true. And I love it. I do love it. This is not complaining at all.
Problems.
But the point is, I have the best of both worlds. I get to live like that, but then I get to come back here to my little house in Guildford and I watch my Netflix and I get to phone up for a kebab and I get to live. Do you know what I mean? It's what, like, I can get to do other. I get to play a big theatre with 1,100 people in it, but I also get to walk down the street to Sainsbury's and not have people hassling me for photographs and autographs. I've got friends can't do that. I've got friends can't walk their dog because they're fat and they hate it. It was the dream and they manifested it and now they've got it. It's actually hell. I mean, the money's great, but they can't just live a normal life. Yeah. So I got the best of both worlds. So it doesn't, you can make these things happen, but they don't necessarily look the way you think they're going to look. And the real secret to manifesting is they will not make you happy. That's the real trick, is to be happy first. If you get that down, you never have to visualize another nice thing happening again in your life. If you're happy now, you wait. That's when things really start to, because that's what the real goal is. People think the goal is the object, and the goal is not the object. The goal is the feeling that the object will give you. And the thing is, the object won't give you that feeling. You just think it will. You think when you get that car, you'll be happy for the rest of your life. You'll never have another thought in your head about manifesting again. No, you'll get that car. You'll be happy for approximately a day. And then something else is going to come along and start a niggling. Oh, the house ain't nice enough. Now I've got the car. I need the house. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. I've got the car, but I need a girl to go with it. So I've got that. There'll always be something. There'll always be something. What you want is that wonderful feeling of relief when you get the thing. And what that feeling is an absence. It's not a feeling, it's an absence. It is the absence of desire. It's the peace that comes from the absence of desire. So if you can release desire as best you can, and it is impossible to release it completely, we need desire to get through the day. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, but if you can release that, then the peace that comes with that is beyond price. And then the weird thing is that once you have that freedom, that liberation, once you're detached from objects, because there is no happiness in an object, there is no happiness in a person, there is no happiness in... The happiness is back here in the awareness. And once you've got that down, everything else becomes then enjoyable. And then you'll find yourself doing the things spontaneously. And when you do that arise, the things that arise out of awareness to do, and when you do that, life rises to meet you and good things happen. Does that make sense?
Amen. It does.
So it's about being first. It's not about visualizing and praying and waiting for a thing to show up and being miserable until it does. It's about being first, being with it, being with what is, being with awareness, disidentifying from desires and drives and thought. Those things will still happen. You can't stop them happening. But be the witness of them, be the awareness out of which they arise, and then watch what happens. And desires that come from awareness tend to work out. Desires that come from ego, from greed, from want, don't tend to work out. Desires that arise spontaneously from awareness seem to just flow. So the key is to let go of desperation. No one wants to feed the hungry dog. No one wants to be with the desperate guy or the desperate girl. It repels what you actually want. Your desperation repels what you want. But if you're here, if you're now, if you're happy, if you're content, people want to be around you. They want to be with you. They want the secret, and they won't believe you when you tell them. It's just to be aware, just to be present. Like, no, it's not that. It's some secret thing he's got.
Yeah, that's too easy. Can't be that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. With this is why I'm trying. I have this in my internal battle. Look at these comments here. Lovely. Hello, nice people. My internal battle right now is with this because I don't want to be a spiritual teacher, because I don't, that idea of I've got the secret and if you pay me money, I'll give it to you. Well, you haven't got the secret for a start. You're selling a false bill of goods. There's a thing you don't know and I know, and if you pay me, I'll teach. The thing is so simple. It's just what I just said. Do you know what I mean? So not all spiritual teachers, by the way, not all of them at all. But
I think
the good spiritual teachers are coming from the place that I just said. They're speaking to you directly from awareness. They're not trying to sell you a thing. There's not a course with another course, because the courses never end. You notice that?
Yeah.
There's always the advanced course, then the advanced course after that, and then the next course. Whereas the ones that come from awareness, that come from the thing that is nameless, the context in which everything else arises. Oh, it's so hard to describe nothing. You know what I mean? The best word we have for it is the Tao, but the Tao that can be spoken of is not the Tao. You know, the word Tao is not the Tao. The Tao is. And people that come from that, they're the good ones. And there are good ones. There are good ones.
Yeah, there are. I suppose the difference with you is, you see up from right off the bat, I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I can share my experience.
No one does.
To me. Yeah.
No one's got all the answers.
And, if you rock up to one of your workshops, you're going to have entertainment, you're going to have laugh, you're going to get insights, you're going to get wisdom, you're going to get... there's going to be interactivity. It's going to be a working experiential workshop. Yeah.
What you're going to get, what I hope you're going to get is just it. And I don't mean me as in me. I mean me as in the actual. I get out of the way, and then it happens, and it's a mutual thing. And it's co-created, and it's hopefully fun, and people get something from it. But if you can be in that lovely. If you can be just with whatever's actually happening, and it's not about feeling good all the time necessarily. Sometimes it's appropriate to feel sad. You're meant to cry when the dog dies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be upset when something bad happens. But when you're in awareness, the upset arises in awareness and it passes away. Everything I'm saying to you, by the way, I'm saying to me. This isn't me trying to preach. I'm saying all this to me. I'm reminding me, because I don't do this all. I get caught in story. I got caught 2 days ago. I'm flying back from Greece and I got cranky at the airport. I lost it. I came out of awareness and back into the story. I came back into the forebrain. I came back into little Danny Buckler at the airport, pissed off at security because they're trying to find a knife that doesn't exist. My bag set off their thing and they thought there was a knife in there. It wasn't no knife. It was a pen. But rather than just believe me, that they pull everything out and then I'm stood there getting cranky. Do you know what I mean? And I got, but the key is, the reason you practice is then you notice it. You notice, oh, I'm back in the shit. I'm back in the story. You notice it. That's what the training wheels of meditation give you, the ability to notice that you're out of awareness and back into the story. And then you relax and you become aware. You can't stop the thoughts. You just have to allow them, but you watch them. And when you start watching them, they're not taking you on a journey. They're arising and then vaporizing. They're disappearing into it, just like everything else is. Everything's constantly disappearing anyway. This moment, we can't grasp it. This live stream will end. The moment is constantly... People talk about be here now. You can't be here now because the second you try and grab now, it's then. You know what I mean? It's gone.
Yes.
It's a flow. It's a flow. So you have to be in the middle of that. So what you do, I do get lost in the story, but the thing, the difference is sometimes it might even take a day, but I do catch myself and I come back. I've got good friends that I don't believe it's no secret. I also have a few neurological issues, and sometimes I've got friends that will, when they go off, they'll have to grab the string of that balloon and bring it back down to earth. But and I'm lucky that I've got those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've lost my thread a little bit. No, I haven't. See there straight away into the story. I've lost my thread. Where am I? And then I have to relax. Oh, I'm going to relax and go back into it. And here we all are. And yeah.
The training wheels of meditation. I love that expression.
Yeah. Meditate. That's what formal meditation, when you sit down and do it, is training. It's not it's not it. It's training for that. It's training the mind to calm down. It's tuning in. The actual meditation is being in the awareness. And I'm doing that right now. That's authentic meditation. All that's happening right now is this. I am sitting here. There is a happening occurring, and I'm with it. That's authentic meditation. There's no thought in here at the moment whatsoever. These words are coming out of nothing. I'm sure thought will return and calculation and all the other. But right now, I'm with it. And the key is to be there as much as you possibly can until the switch finally flips and you're living there.
Yeah.
And there are people that apparently are living there all the time.
Apparently,
maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm not behind their eyes, but I've seen enough to know that is possible to live as much as possible like that. And then the manifesting thing takes care of itself. And you haven't got to worry about it.
Yeah, I am. Oops, my camera's frozen. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you fine, Danny Green. I can't speak to anyone watching it on the line.
No.
Oh, you're frozen for me now, Dan. I've lost you now. I can hear you, but you're frozen. You're doing the jerky thing.
All right.
You're doing that.
I'm back now. I don't know if I can hear you, I think. Yes.
I'm still here. I was mucking about.
Yeah, I know.
Sue Ratley says we can all see you.
We can see you. We can see you as well, Sue. Craig saying mindfulness. I know. You said you'd gift us to one of your visualizations.
Yeah, if you like. Yeah, we're going to do a bit of that if people are up for it.
Oh, I'm sure.
The Facebook breakdance.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure people will
try. I don't plan these, so I can try. This isn't going to be a... Yeah, do you want to have a little go at that?
Please.
We can, if we like, unless anyone's got any questions. I don't know if people are people asking questions.
Yeah, if you've got a question or comment for Danny, please pop it in the comment section. We'll give it a little bit of time because there's a slight delay between us talking and just getting out to the viewers. To do that purposely in case there's any buffering.
All right. Is this on YouTube or is it on Facebook?
It's on Facebook. I'll be uploading it to YouTube. I don't bother doing YouTube lives because I find I have better success just uploading a video.
Ah, nice. I want to start doing YouTube live streaming. I used to do it on Instagram, which was lovely, but I like YouTube. But I was going to give it a go.
Yeah,
I'm still new to the YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to work out what I'm doing on there.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, no one's asking any questions, are they? So
no, they don't seem to be, which is fine
because I've explained it all so well.
That's what it is.
Yeah, should we have a little bit of a sit?
Yeah, I'd love that, please, and thank you.
Right, okay. What we'll do then was we're going to get to the real. We'll try and get into the real juice of it. Everybody who's watching this or listening to it, wherever you're sat. Hang on a second. Oh, that was a juicy crack. Did you hear that?
No.
Did the microphone pick that up? Oh, satisfying. So, like I say, the key to manifesting or create or anything, the key to everything is just to literally be with what is and allow. So, what we'll do is we'll do this. We'll wherever you are right now, unless of course you're driving or operating heavy machinery, in which case why are you on Facebook? We'll just sit wherever you are. There's no special position required at all. Wherever you happen to be sat right now is it. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to hold. Just close your eyes very, very gently, though. Shut out the visual stream just for a few seconds. Just shut that out and just be here. And open yourself up to sound. Sound's one of the quickest ways in. So just listen. Listen to any sound that's happening right now. Any creaking that you hear, or any kind of house noise or traffic noise. This is not about attaining perfect silence, because when do we get that? It's about being with what is. Just listen to what's happening, but listen deeply, because you're trying to get away from words. Don't describe the sounds. Don't label them. Just treat them as what's happening. Treat them as vibrations, just playing with the eardrums. And see how far you can hear. There was a Buddhist teacher who would describe this as trying to listen to the boats in the harbour. From wherever you happen to be, just seeing if you could hear the nearest harbour, which for me is about 40 miles away. And maybe you'll hear it, but that's not the point. The point is that you're letting your ears just reach out as far as they can. What's the furthest sound you can hear? And now you allow your hands to appear to you in awareness. Feel them. Just feel your hands, and you'll notice, even if your hands are still, when you feel them, there's a movement there. You can feel, they don't feel static. There's tinglings, pulses, vibrations. They're not still. They're dancing. In your direct experience, it's like a fireworks going off down there. Don't try and change anything. Don't add anything. Just be with what you're feeling and what you're hearing. And notice that both the sounds and the sensations are occurring to the same awareness. There's not a separate awareness for hearing and a separate awareness for sensation. It's one awareness holding everything. And now bring your feet into it, wherever they happen to be. Just be aware of the sensations of your feet. So in awareness right now, you hold your feet and your hands and the sounds that you're hearing. And when I speak, you want to treat that just like any other sound. Don't worry about understanding what I'm saying, because you've got a nervous system that's going to take care of that with no effort whatsoever on your part. All this is effortless. And notice how the mind is becoming quieter. If it hasn't become completely quiet, it's quieter at least. It's becoming quiet with no effort on your part. You're not trying to silence it. All you're doing is being aware of your hands, the sensations, the sounds. And if a thought does occur, notice that that thought occurs to the same awareness as the sounds and the sensations. And notice that you didn't choose that thought. It just arose. It arose out of something. It appeared from somewhere and it disappeared to somewhere, and try and notice what that somewhere is. It's the same awareness that your hands are arising out of, and your feet are arising out of, and the sounds are arising out of. So as you sit here, try and place your attention on that awareness itself. Become aware of awareness. There's no effort required. You haven't got to do anything. Just notice the simple fact of your own awareness. That nothing is happening separate from your awareness. It can't. And be with that awareness. Every experience you ever have is going to be known by that awareness, including this one. It's always with you. In a few minutes, you're going to open your eyes, but you'll still have that awareness. You'll be aware of what you can see, what you're experiencing. Later on tonight, you might have a glass of wine. You might be watching TV, but it's all going to happen in that awareness. That awareness has always been here. That awareness will always be here. Whatever you experience will happen in that awareness. Sometimes you're going to get lost. But if you get lost, that will happen in this awareness. And now very, very gently open your eyes. But try and hold that awareness just for as long as you can. Just hold that feeling. Now you've got pictures, sights and sounds. I have a camera. I have Danny's face. I have a screen. I have a light. I have a room. And it's all happening in the same awareness that we were just sat in. It's not separate. It's not separate. And there you are.
Beautiful. I was just sat reflecting on how grateful I am for you to have done this live stream. It's
Mate, anytime you like.
Yeah, it's had lots of facets to it and different segues, and very entertaining and enjoyable.
Well, that's good news. I know I do go a bit sort of sideways when I do these things, but it's like that thing you always, whenever you start a conversation, it's never about what you think it's about, and it always goes in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fluid.
Yeah.
It ends up where it ends up, and yeah. So, a comment. What did you think of that? Were you feeling nice and chilled and calm now? Did you get any insights pop in, or did you just feel so super present?
That's the key to it.
When you start seeing
and then when a desire appears, when you have a desire for something, where does that desire come from? You know what I mean? It arises out of your awareness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it could be, and if it's a desire in response to something out there, he's got a nice car, and my response to that is, I want that car. That ain't going to happen. Well, it might do, but it's going to be strained. You're going to have to work at it, and you're going to have to make. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a desire that arises from sitting quiet, like we just did, if a desire arises from that, those are authentic desires.
Yes.
And those are the ones to trust. And they tend to be desires for connection or desires to express something in particular. That's the secret to creativity. One of that is that genuine, those ideas arise out of, when you tune into the awareness, you tune into the stream of ideas, and then you'll get ideas that if you follow will take you to wonderful places. The best ideas come out of awareness.
Yeah, when you said, and now become aware of your awareness, I was thinking, ooh, hello.
And that's the beautiful thing about the YouTube and the world we live in now. I mean, there's a lot of things about it that are not so good. The constant arguing on Twitter, the constant. But now you can sit. If I'm making a television show for somebody else, it's their idea, their concept. I'm in it. I've got to say what they've told me. I've got no input in that. That's not an authentic desire, and it won't make me happy. But if I can sit quiet like this, and something arises that wants to be made in the modern world, I can then go and make it. You see?
Yes.
And then if I make it and I can put it out there and it can find its audience. But I have to also accept that audience might be 5 people. There are YouTubers with 1 million followers who talk nothing but relentless shit. And there are brilliant YouTubers that are well worth your time and attention that have got 40 subscribers.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is. That's the way the DAO wants it. And they're going with it. And they're still creating and still putting it out. You know, it's not about the number of followers you've got. It's about the authenticity and the connection you have with those followers. You know, if you've got a certain message, you don't want numpties following you. You want authentic people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not about the number of followers. It's about what you're allowing, what you're letting arise out of awareness that wants to be expressed through you. And then rather being a block in the pipe, you express it. You express it on behalf of the whole. And then it finds it's all, because we're all talking to ourselves. We're all that awareness. That's when you really get deep into it, that awareness is all of us. We're one thing. We're one thing. So we're talking to ourselves, you know, and if you approach it like that, you find the right audience. Yeah, so never be discouraged by low numbers.
Yeah, yes.
Just whatever arises wants to be expressed, and it's your job to get out of the way and express it.
That's right. As you say, I'll have an audience of 40 or 4 and an audience of hundreds of thousands in a bitch fest. Yeah,
I was beating myself up because it's like everyone's got the strategy is you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to post on a Tuesday, never on a Friday, and Reels is the key, Instagram's the key, got to get on TikTok, got to get on Vimeo, whatever the next thing is. Blah, 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 blah. You're like, Jesus God, you know what I mean? It's like, well, what? I don't know where I am, what my name is. What do I make next? Yeah. And then you've got a jam in the blog part, and you're like, well, I've got to make this to please someone. I've got to make a video that is designed to attract certain people, and it's got to have this many hits, blah, 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 and that. No, chill, relax, be calm. Just what wants to be expressed, and express it, and then don't think about anything else. Just express yourself authentically, and then you find your audience. Is what I'm coming from at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And these things, you know, and then things will line up.
Mm-hmm. Danny Buckler.
Anyway,
gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me on your live stream. Thank you, audience.
Yeah, I've got another call to be on at 8 o'clock.
I'll get out of your way, mate. Sorry. And,
we've
done an hour though.
Sue's like the get out of the way concept. I do that very consciously in some areas now to live that way in all areas. I love that.
Good for you, Sue. Yes. Yeah. Allow it.
Yeah, so thank you to everyone for being on live. If you're catching the replay, also drop us a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of the visualization again if you're on live or catching a replay. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel because it helps the channel grow, etc.
And subscribe to mine.
Yes. When I upload this to YouTube, I'll put your link in the description as well. So
lovely to be with everyone. Really nice to be with everyone, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
you. Much love to you all, and bye for now.
Be well, friends.